Hello everyone, Cliff here in the shed. I've been out of commission for a little while due to various bits and pieces which I won't bore anyone with, but I would like to say just before I get started a big thank you to everyone who has been in touch and has sent their sort of best wishes and what have you. Hopefully I've responded to everyone who did get in touch individually, but if there is anyone I missed, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. It's been quite humbling really. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with what's going on. So some time ago, some of you may remember, I changed the VFD. Well, after I blew the VFD in me Emco lathe up, I changed the VFD, put the one off of me ML7 in here, which was a Newton Tesla one. Came out of a sealed box that was on the ML7, which I bought as a package with the VFD and the motor. Anyway, I think I've damaged the lathe using that, so let me just show you what the problem I think is. When I switch the lathe off, it stops pretty quickly. So if I speed it up, and I go that quick, it stops reasonably. There's a little bit of a delay in the stopping, but that chonk I think has caused some damage in the headstock. Let me move the camera and I'll show you. See, the problem is I can't program the Newton Tesla one. It hasn't got the actual programming bit on it. They do come with that. I've seen them sold with that on it, but the one it's in the sealed box on my this one anyway, I haven't got it, so I can't alter that. And well, let's get in here and I'll show you. So this is the main drive wheel, which let me see if I can get a better camera angle on that. Alright, let's try again. Right, so this is the main drive wheel from the motor. This is always engaged, this one. Doesn't matter what one you have this in, this one is always engaged. And there's a tooth missing here, and another one missing here. So I think that abrupt stop has put a lot of pressure on these. Let me spin it, see if a lot of oil will come out of it. Hang on. See, that abrupt stopping, I think, has put a lot of pressure on here and damaged the teeth. Might not be, it might just be coincidence. They might have been ready to go, but they only went after I changed it over. So anyway, so I've got to repair it. So fortunately I managed to get this one of these off eBay. I was going to take it off and see if I could just make a new ring for it. These are like tough null or something, these gears on here. I think they're made to break and strip if you bugger up. But I mean, I haven't tried to change gear when it's been moving or anything, so, and even that probably wouldn't do the damage on there. Anyway, so I've got to get this little this one here out. I've had these out before, I know how they come out, but I've never had any of the headstock to bits, not even when I first got it and cleaned it all up. I never took the headstock to bits. So I'm in no man's land a bit. I'm going to swap over to the speedy camera and see if I can get this out. Well, that was easy enough getting it out. And there you can see the two buggered up teeth. Right. So this is the new one. And this is the old one with the teeth out of it. And if I put them together and show you. Hopefully that will show up on the camera. And there's a lot more meat on the teeth on the new one. I don't think this is brand new, this one. This has come out of another lathe. Anyway, I'm just going to give everything a good clean up. See, my original plan was to get this off and make an aluminium one for it. It's much thinner in the diameter here than it is on the back, so I presume there's a step in there somewhere. But I shall probably take this to bits and see if I can repair it. There's a bit of damage on this one round here as well. Slight wear marks on that one, but not nowhere near the damage that's on this one. I think this has had some rough treatment in its time, this lathe. You can tell that by the way the other Delrin gears on it, the edges are all worn out where someone's slammed it into gear with it moving. It will change the speeds when it's been moving. Anyway, I'm going to clean out the headstock, get all the old oil out. It's not that old, but I'm going to get all the oil out. Not least, I've got to try and find these teeth. They must be in there somewhere. And then putting it back together is just the reverse of what I've just done, so that should be pretty straightforward. Certainly a lot easier to get it out than I thought. These all seem to be alright. A little tiny bit of play in that. Anyway, I'll get it cleaned up and get it back together. That's the only remains of the teeth that I can find, and they were squashed into the recesses of the other steel teeth in the headstock. I can only assume they've got completely obliterated and come out with the oil. Well, that's it, it's all done. Certainly sounds a lot better. That knocking is the end on the motor. It's got a little bit of a wobble on it, and when it gets up to higher speeds it has a bit of trouble catching up and you get that little knock. But the lathe sounds, because you could hear that missing the tooth every now and again. I just got to remember to turn it down speed before I switch it off until I change the VFD or something, maybe one day. Anyway, that was probably the most simplest repair I'm ever going to do on a lathe. That was very easy to do in the end, which is always handy, and that's assuming of course you've got the spare part. So I will have a look at this and see just how these are mounted on these Delrin tough null wheels. I can't imagine they're just glued on there, but like I say, you've got a much bigger or smaller internal diameter one side than the other, so it must be stepped. But I'll have a look at that and let you know, because I might try and make one up, make a spare up for it. Wasn't too bad. I mean, I paid 70 odd quid for this, 80 odd with a postage, because it came from Germany. there you go. Well, until next time, hopefully it won't be so long. I've got some other winter projects in the pipeline. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.